So before I decided that I was an alcoholic, I had a misconception of what I thought alcoholics were. For me, I always thought it was like the homeless guy on the side of the street, wearing dingy clothes, just worse for wear, panhandling for money. And, he had lost his house, his family, his car, all that stuff. And so for me, I had that misconception of that's what an alcoholic was. And I know a lot of people have gone to that low in their life where they have lost their family, lost their house, lost their job, so on and so forth. But, there are a lot of people that haven't hit that severe of a low yet. And they are just your normal people. It could be your neighbor. It could be someone that you work with. It could be, a friend, or it just could be just normal people every day that have beautiful houses. And some people just, are living day to day by their, paycheck to paycheck. We all are just normal people. We are just normal human beings. And I always had that misconception and still until I started going to AA before I went to rehab. And I had met some amazing people within AA that are just normal people. And so I wanted to bring that up because, for me to tell everybody that I'm an alcoholic, I struggle with it just because I don't want people to know about that part of my life. But there are some people in my life that, do know that I'm an alcoholic. And so fortunately, I have my brother who came down to visit with me, and he joined me last night for an AA meeting, and it was his first AA meeting that he ever went to. So I wanted to ask him what he thought about some of the people within the meeting that maybe he had a misconception about who alcoholics are as well. So
Hello, everyone. So I went to a last night. It was a smaller crowd. It was Thanksgiving, but there was still some different people there from different areas. Some people were 17 years sober. Some people, this was their first meeting and they were really, really struggling. But they all had compelling stories. Some people were hunters and spent the day out in the woods, meditating in the woods. And that kept them sober for the day and kept them going. Some people, this was their first Thanksgiving with their family in 15 years, and they were extremely grateful that their family invited them. And they had to spend the time with their family because they were sober. So all of their stories were fantastic, and it was really heartwarming to hear how much AA is helping them, how much their sobriety means to them, and they all struggle every single day. But they're getting better. Which for me, I live a pretty normal life. I've never really dealt with an addiction like that. But again, it was heartwarming, and you feel bad for people, and you hope everyone's able to get through it, get their sobriety, and just move forward with life.
yeah, it's definitely very interesting having all the people with their point of views come to it because, not only if you're not an alcoholic, you can still take something from the meeting, whether it's, being, last night our topic was being grateful. Sometimes we do forget about the little things in life that we need to be grateful for. There was once again, there was a girl there that was struggling, having a really hard time, but I was grateful to be there to hear her story because it just reminds me of when I was at that low, when I was at that point, when I was having a very, very hard time dealing with something. And she kept saying, I hate that this is being dark. I hate the fact that I'm not really giving anybody good information with my story. But she absolutely was. She was there. That was the biggest point, was that although she did not want to be there, although she would rather sit at home and be under her blanket and just kind of forget about the world, she made a point to be there at that AA telling her story, and that story is what keeping me sober today. So although you may not think that you're being important in somebody else's life, you absolutely are, and I'm very grateful for that. So it was a good meeting. I enjoyed it last night, and once again, I enjoy having family in town. It's it's been nice having someone here with me, kind of go through all this and see the other side of the coin. So I hope everybody else had a good holiday, and I will talk to you soon.